Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Alex. I'm going to do another I Hate video. I think volume 5, which is really crazy. I never thought it would go that far. I hate a lot of things. Apparently, so do you. So, yeah, before I get started, public service announcement. Cat, look how cute he is. See? Look, he's cute. Yeah. Somebody please take the cat. I can't keep the cat. Look, again, he's cute. Look, see? Yeah, I can't keep the cat. Please, somebody take him. Anybody, please let me know. Anyway, yeah, now that that public service announcement is over, I will go ahead and start on the hatred. First up, I hate how this one is for my friend Adelia, who pointed this out to me, and since she did, I've seen the commercial she was talking about, and yes, it is infuriating. It's a commercial for Amco, and they have this woman bring in her car, normal-looking lady, normal, well, I shouldn't say normal, very clean-looking Amco guy, especially for somebody who works with cars, never clean by necessity. Anyway, she's like, oh, I don't know what this light is on my dashboard, I'm so worried, and it shows it, and it's the check engine light. If you are so inept at just life that you don't even know what your check engine light is, please don't get behind the wheel of a car. For the sake of everybody else on the road, it will only end badly. Next, people whose statuses on Facebook are always inevitably about the same thing. Like, if you only post about your boyfriend or girlfriend, if you only post about how you're going to the gym today, and, oh, today is legs day, I'm going to do my legs today, nobody cares. Next, yeah, please don't do that. Anyway, the next one up is how few people understand that Chipotle is vastly superior to Moe's. Now, I don't mean to rag on Moe's. Moe's is good, but it's not even in the same league as Chipotle. I mean, please. The vegetables and stuff at Chipotle are fresher. The meat is much better quality. I dare any of you, to argue with me on that. Anyway, yeah, Chipotle, greater than Moe's. Next. I hate how people don't know internet etiquette. Or rather, I should hate the people that don't know internet etiquette. Like, people that type in all caps and then don't realize that they're shouting at you. Random things like that. It's pretty obvious when you see it. In my mind, if you're going to go on the internet, you should have a pretty decent idea of what is acceptable and what's not. Just like if you're going to get behind the wheel of a car, you should probably know what your check engine light is. So, anyway, yeah. Next, couples that use the same Facebook page and then have, like, their name of the page as all one word, like Mark and Kimberly. Honestly, is it that difficult to get two separate pages? And if one of you doesn't use Facebook enough to warrant getting your own page, why are you joined up with your spouse anyway? Just annoying. Don't do it. Take the extra 30 seconds it takes to make another page. Next, people that order for their entire office at, like, a restaurant or a drive-thru or something, that is not fair to everybody else behind you. You're putting in, like, 80 freaking custom orders, and you've got them invariably written on, like, a napkin that you got from your break room, and you can't read it, and then you have to call one of the guys, and you're like, oh, I forgot, did you say you didn't want mayonnaise on this, or you did? And yeah, you basically monopolize the entire restaurant for like 20 minutes at a time and make everybody else wait for getting their food. If the rest of the people at your office want to come get their food, fine. But don't, like, cut 60 spots in line because everybody else is too lazy to get out of their chair. Next, I hate people that make disgusting noises when they eat. And this is even worse when they chew with their mouth open. If you chew with your mouth open and you're more than like 6, honestly, get it together. Get it together, Grouch. Just not cool, really. Uncouth. Yeah, but if you're making squishy noises and stuff while you eat, don't eat around me. Ew. It's even worse if I have food, like if it's in a restaurant and I have food, because then my appetite is absolutely gone. So yeah. Anyway, next. Again, speaking of things that drive away the appetite, people that don't take the time to shave disgusting amounts of body hair. Like, alright, if you're a dude and you have a fuzzy caterpillar going straight across here, like, just ridiculous amounts of unibrow going on, just shave it. I mean, do you not care enough to even take the 10 seconds it would take to get rid of that? It's just nasty. If your armpit hair like is long enough that you can start braiding it, goddamn, trim it. It's really not that difficult. Just show some self-respect. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be Tyra Banks, but goddamn, take care of yourself a little bit. Next, people whose idea of a good conversation topic is bitching to you about everything that is wrong with them. I don't want to hear it. Unless you are one of my very close friends, in which case I actually care about your life and what is or is not right with it, please don't tell me. Next, in the same vein, people that complain nonstop about their lives when they actually have it pretty good. Like, if you are complaining because your boss is a dick, go ahead and step back, put yourself in perspective for a minute. Maybe you should be thinking, hey, my life's not so bad. I don't live in Japan and just got my entire city destroyed by a tsunami. I'm not in Libya and getting killed by the Civil War, bullets ripping through my freaking house in the morning. If you're complaining because you have to work a double today, I have no sympathy for you. Next, let's see here. Manny Ramirez. I hate Manny Ramirez. If you like Manny Ramirez, I hate you because you're a bad person. He is a cheating scumbag. He's been caught twice, 2 times for steroids. In my opinion, if it's 1 time and you're out, 1 strike. But they let him come back. He comes, signs with the Rays, and this is probably makes it even worse because I'm a Rays fan. I live in the Tampa area here. Comes in, gets tested positive for steroids, and instead of taking the suspension, just decides to leave. I'm going on vacation with my dad to Spain. Well, that's nice. How about the team that you just screwed over here? Is that, not on your priorities at all? Yeah, just a classless douchebag. Horrible person. Moving on. People that try to posture up and look like they're tough or hard asses or cool. Look, if you're tough, if you're a tough guy and you're legitimately a tough guy, that's going to show regardless of you attempting to posture. If you're trying to make yourself look tough, it's just funny. I mean, it just makes me laugh. You're pathetic. Next up, people that tailgate you in any lane except for the fast lane. Fast lane, acceptable. That's a signal, I want to go faster than you. Move over to the center lane, let them go by, and then move back when you can. That's fine. But if I'm in the slow lane or something, if I'm in a turn lane and you're tailgating me, I want nothing more than to brake check you and then look in my rearview mirror and see your car flipping into a ditch. Preferably with some sort of miniature nuclear explosion mushroom cloud coming out of the ditch after you've crashed and burned. Not cool at all. Have some class. Next, I hate people, most of the time it's girls that do this, but guys occasionally do it too, whose idea of a good time is going out and getting so unbelievably hammered that they can't walk, talk, or perform basic bodily functions. What is fun about that? Who's like, yeah, alcohol poisoning, all right. No, I enjoy going out and getting a drink as much as the next guy, but if it's so bad that I can barely see straight, and, I'm falling down, and in the morning I'm going to wish I was actually dead, what's the point of that? Why is that fun? You must have a pretty horrible life that seems to be a good option. Anyway, next. I hate people that become so indoctrinated with the belief that they refuse to see anything else through reason or logic. And a lot of times this goes for religion. It can really go for anything, but commonly you see it with religion. It's like dinosaur bones, honestly. The theories that some of these very, very religious people have come up with to explain dinosaur bones are just, they're laughable. It's like, look, they're bones. They are clearly bones. They are clearly the bones of a very large lizard-like creature. They were just put here to confuse us. Really? Honestly? Are we serious about this? Come on. I don't care if you want to be religious, that's fine with me, but at least be able to think for yourself. Don't become a freaking lemming. Next. People that condescend to me because I'm younger than they are or because I look younger. That's even worse. If I'm actually the same age or older than you and you act like I'm younger because I look younger, ooh, bad choice. Before you decide to condescend to me, how about you take a look at what you've done in your life and what I've done in mine. If somebody is condescending to me that's, you know, a neurophysicist, I'm not even sure if those really exist, but I just picked two of the most difficult things I could think of and combined them. Anyway, if you're a neurophysicist and you condescend to me about not having achieved anything, something like that, that's cool. I agree. You've done a hell of a lot more than I have. But if you're condescending just because you're older than I am, look at your life first. What have you done? I'm about to graduate from college with a pretty decently difficult degree. I'm going to medical school. I mean, go ahead and think about what you're going to say before you say it. Next, let's see here. People that say that all martial arts are ineffective, regardless of what or when. They say, oh, that's not going to help you. If you get in a fight, it's not going to help you at all. Really? Learning how to punch so that I don't break my hand is not going to benefit me in a fight? Learning to see punches and attacks coming in so that I don't get shocked when I see somebody punch at me, that's not going to help me in a fight. Learning how to do a lot of things that come with martial arts is not going to help me in a fight. No, it's not going to make me a freaking ninja and just, you know, annihilate everybody else. I'm not going to be Chuck Norris. But honestly, it's not useless. And in the same vein, I hate people that say, I mean, look, martial arts would not have been around in vastly unchanged form for hundreds and hundreds of years if it was ineffective. Look, I mean, there's a reason that people are not trying to fly around using wax wings with feathers like Icarus. It didn't work. And be that a myth or not, it's a good example. Things that don't work are generally not practiced. People realize, hey, this is not working, we're going to do something else. If something's stayed around for hundreds of years in the same form, pretty good indication that it has some merit to it. Yeah, next, kind of in the same vein here, people, but kind of going the other way now, people that think that they are just absolute hot shit because they got a black belt. Listen, the black belt only means as much as the work and the training that went into getting it. I mean, if you go to a school that it takes you 3 years and then you get a black belt, well, congratulations, you get a pretty belt now. But that only means that you have 3 years of training, and most likely if it's a school that's like that, the training's not very good anyway. But, I mean, I'd much rather go to a school where it takes me 8 to 10 years. It took me 8 years to get my black belt. But I know that it actually meant something. I mean, I know that what I learned was good and that I learned it well. So, I mean, congratulations if you got a black belt after 3 or 4 years, but it doesn't mean a whole lot. Anyway, next. Again, same kind of thing. People that think that size is the only thing that matters in a fight. Look, if you're huge, yeah, it is a factor. You're going to probably be stronger. You're going to be more difficult to hurt with a punch or whatever. But it's not the only thing that matters. If you think that you are going to win just because you're bigger than somebody, I suggest you think again. I've seen a little guy, like little man, 5'4" at the most, take out guys that are 6'5". I mean, granted that's an extreme case, and he's a hell of a martial artist, this little guy, but still, size is not everything as far as fighting goes. Next, people who are counterculture simply to be counterculture. I don't care if you're counterculture because you legitimately dislike how the main culture of the country or your society is. That's cool. Be an individual. But if you're counterculture just because you think that that's cool, it's not. You're just kind of a douchebag. Argument number 1, hipsters. Hipsters are the worst for that. Next, people that people that can't see video games as a sort of art form. They are. I mean, honestly, they can be bad, but there's also such a thing as bad art. I'm sure you've been walking through a house or a restaurant or whatever, seen a painting and go, wow, that is just utter crap. Yeah, but it's still art. It fits under that category. Just as there's an art to telling stories, just as there's an art to painting, there's an art to making a good video game. Video games are something with potential to make people happy, and that in my opinion, and with a wide variety of different styles. That, in my opinion, constitutes an art. So next, I hate when I have to walk past somebody who's crippled and can't walk, or is walking on crutches or with like a limp, because I feel like an ass for not doing anything wrong. Like, I realize that it's not my fault that I can walk and they can't, but I just feel like it's the same thing as going next to a deaf dude with an iPod and just rocking out, like, no concern for the fact that he's deaf and can't hear music. That's what I feel like when I walk past a guy who can't walk. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have had that same thing. I just feel so bad. Like, show off. But anyway, next, I hate it when people thrive on drama. Like, I hate it when people thrive on drama to such an extent that they actually go out of their way to create it. Like, and a lot of times this is girls, younger girls, try to make everything dramatic because for some reason they like that. No, if you're dramatic, that's an unbelievable turnoff. I want to be nowhere near you. Sometimes drama happens and it's a necessity, but people that create it because they like it, something wrong with you. Next, I hate girls that smoke to seem edgy or attractive. Like, I was at a concert just last night, and there were a bunch of girls there that were, like, smoking. They were actually really good-looking, attractive girls, but as soon as they started smoking, I was like, oh, okay, no. The hugest turn-off. If you're a girl that thrives on drama and smokes, I want you to live in another country. Yeah, that's, like, the biggest turn-off of all of them is smoking. So, next, let's see here. People that have no respect for teachers in classes, especially at the college level. If you're in middle school, I get it. Kids aren't as mature as they will be later, hopefully. Although that's not necessarily true considering some of the people that I'm in class with. If you come in class and you're talking to people while the lecture's going on, and you bring in, like, a Subway sandwich and are, like, eating it loudly and stuff, it's one thing to have a bag of chips. It's another to have a full meal. Really, have some respect. The teacher's usually a doctor, especially at this level, usually has a doctorate degree or an advanced degree of some kind. Show some respect. You're paying for the class anyway. You might as well pay attention. Anyway, yeah, don't do it. Have some class. Next, people that argue with me about something that I'm trying to teach them when they've asked me to teach it to them. Like, if you ask me to teach you something in what I know of guitar, or something in my martial arts, or something in a science class that I know that you want help with, don't argue with me about it when I'm teaching it to you. That just infuriates the hell out of me. Next, people who work at Subway who skimp on the toppings. Like, if I ask for lettuce, which is like 90% water anyway, it's really cheap, and then, like, give me like 8 shreds of lettuce across the top, and then look at me like, what next? Honestly, don't skimp on the toppings. It doesn't cost you anything more. Give me some damn lettuce. Yeah, most people at Subway are good. I don't mean to bag on Subway, but occasionally you get one that just skimps, and that's not cool. Next, people that academically their biggest concern is passing their classes, like a C. I cannot get C's. No. If I get a B, it's okay, but it is not good. I have to basically get A's, maybe a few B's to do what I have to do. People whose only concern is passing, one, I envy you. 2, I loathe you with a fiery intensity that's difficult to put into words. Next, I hate people who say that there's no such thing as stupid questions. Yes, there are. There are stupid questions. And a lot of times they're contextual. So if you're asking a stupid question to somebody who's a mathematician, would not be a stupid question to somebody who's, I don't know, an English major or a history major. But the fact remains that there are stupid questions, especially in different groups. For example, there's a girl in my MCAT class who asks unfailingly, at least once a class, a question that makes everybody kind of go, what? Like, it's so bad that the teacher of the class actually, like, asks her to rephrase the question because he thinks it can't possibly be what she's asking. Like, I'll give you two of the best examples here. First, she said, is hemoglobin the same thing as a red blood cell? Now, this is where it's contextual. For a normal person, that might not be a stupid question to ask because they haven't had the training. But if you're in third or fourth year of pre-med studies, you should know the difference between a red blood cell and hemoglobin, honestly. Next, the most unbelievable one she's ever done. We were talking about the rods and cones in the eye and how they work. And she said, and I quote, "Do you hear in color? Do you hear in color?" And I really, for the life of me, I think I deserve credit for not doing this, but I really wanted to. I wanted to be like, are you on LSD? Like, right now? Because then that would explain your question. Otherwise, you're just unbelievably stupid. Yeah, so people, there are such things as stupid questions. Please take care not to ask them if you can help it. Some people it might be genetic, but whatever. Next, I hate the song Down by 311, which is made even worse by the fact that I like some other things that 311 does, but Down has like totally, whenever I think 311 now, I think that song, and it makes me angry. Next, I hate that the fire alarms in my apartment here go off at absolutely no provocation. Like, there's nothing, I've cleaned my oven, like, on the inside because they were going off so much. Like, if I cook anything in my oven, they go off. There's not even, like, dried food in there that's, like, smoking or anything. No. They just go off pretty much at any hint of carbon in the air at all. So, yeah, I hate those. I also hate the fact that they decided that it would be a good idea to put the smoke detector 15 freaking feet up in the air so that there's no way to reach it without dragging a chair over and getting the mop and, like, fumbling at the switch while it's beeping at me. Yeah, I hate the smoke detectors, and I hate their position in my house. Next, I hate people who sag their pants, and I hate them progressively more the lower they sag their pants. For example, if I saw this guy walking the other day, and I shit you not, his pants were here. They were like, the waistband was right here, and the rest was like gym shorts. Honestly, I could come over, push you onto the ground, and kick you, and then run away, and you wouldn't even be able to run after me because your knees are bound together by your waistband. Really? Really? That's your style. Okay. Whatever you like, dude. Next. I hate awkward compliments. Like, I hate even the fact that compliments can be awkward when they're given in earnest. Like, this is a good example. I was at a party with some of my parents' friends, actually. There was a party at my house, and my parents invited some of their friends, and some of their friends are older. And there was this lady who's probably 70, and she said, "Oh, well, aren't you very handsome?" And I said, "Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. That's fine." But then she, like, kept at it. She was talking to her husband, and she was like, "Oh, you should see him. He's so handsome. Look, oh, he's such a handsome young man." And just the more she said it, the more awkward it got. Like, okay, you're like 4 times my age, and getting awkward. And you have to keep that smile on your face like, thank you. Yeah, I hate that. I don't hate the lady for doing it because I'm sure she meant well, but I hate the fact that it was really awkward and that can happen a lot. Anyway, next, I hate nightclubs. Nightclubs are just, they're horrible. It's like, hey, do you want to go to a place where you're going to be packed in, like, shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of sweaty people that you don't know that are going to go and, like, dance, like, on you and around you while terrible music blasts out of the speakers at levels so high that it actually starts making your ears bleed? No. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and clarify that. It'll cost you, like, $10 to $20 to even get in for the pleasure of that experience. No. No, thank you. I'm fine. I'd rather stay at home and sleep. That sounds like hell. In fact, I'm pretty sure that is. That's a circle of hell that Dante must have missed in his journey through the Inferno there. Nightclub. The Eternal Club. Yeah. Horrible places. Don't go to them. Maybe people will start spending their time on more worthwhile pursuits. for entertainment. Next, people in the service industry, especially restaurants like waiters and waitresses, who act like you're inconveniencing them when you ask them to do what they're supposed to do. Like when you go in McDonald's to the girl behind the counter and go, "Hey, can I have a number 5?" And she looks at you like all of a sudden you're wasting her time. Like, come on. Your job is really easy. You punch numbers into a keyboard. They do all of the work, and then you take my money. Is it that difficult? Does it take that much time out of your busy schedule here at McDonald's? Yeah, I hate them. And I'm sure you guys have had the same experience. I hate it when people say that sarcasm is the lowest form of humor. No. First, puns are pretty low. I will admit to liking some puns, but usually because they're so horrible that it's actually amusing. But what's really the lowest form of humor is scatologic humor, like fart jokes. If you have fart jokes as something that you enjoy, you'd better be under the age of 7. I mean, really, it's not funny. And it's even worse when you see like a movie where the comedy is based on like fart jokes and stuff. It's like, really? Really? Your writers are that terrible that was the best they could come up with? Yeah. Please, give it a rest. Next, I hate when people get the words poisonous and venomous mixed up. Okay, a snake is not poisonous unless you eat it and it makes you sick, or you touch it and it makes you sick. A mushroom is not venomous. That's a less common mistake, but it serves to prove the point. The mushroom is not venomous unless it bites you. If you've ever been bitten by a mushroom, I stand corrected. Snakes are venomous. Wasps are venomous. Mushrooms are poisonous, or can be. Cyanide is poisonous if you ingest it. Poison ivy, poisonous. Please, get them right. It's not that difficult, and it's just one of my pet peeves. It makes me crazy. Next, people that wait until the very end of a meal to wipe their mouths. The only acceptable case with this is ribs that have like a lot of sauce, in which case you'd be wiping your mouth like more than you're eating. That's okay. Otherwise, like if it's a sandwich that's got like a dressing on it, and it's got a lot of dressing and it gets all over your mouth, take the time to wipe your mouth with a napkin. I don't want to sit there looking at your disgusting sauce-covered face for like the 20 minutes it takes you to finish your freaking sandwich. Have some, be considerate and wipe your mouth. It's not really very difficult. It takes 2 seconds. Next, I hate people who type in a mixture of capital and lowercase letters in the same word. Like, capital, I don't know, let me see here. Like, the word people, capital P, lowercase e, capital O, capital P, lowercase l, capital E, and then write their entire sentence like that. I don't get it. It's not cool. Stop. Next, people that think it's okay at concerts to just bully their way, like battering ram through the crowd to get to the spot that they want to be in. The people that got there before you are not going to like it when you just bull your way through and then cut in front of them so that they can't see anymore. That's not cool. It's different if you got up there with your friend and then left to go get something and then go back to join your friend. That's acceptable. But if you like just push in front of me because you feel that that's okay, it's not. You're a douchebag. Stop it. Next, I hate it that USF is too cheap to cool the life science building down below like 85 degrees. Please, shell out the extra cash so that we don't all die of heat stroke. Yeah, end of discussion. I hate people that mispronounce the word gyro as gyro. I know it's spelled like that with an English pronunciation, but that's not the right way to pronounce the word. And, I don't know, it's just annoying. Pronounce it right. It's like if I were to speak Spanish and pronounce the words like, hola, como estas tú? It's like, no, pronounce it right. It's not difficult. Next. People, this is another thing with concerts. People that refuse to do anything but sit there and watch. Like, I feel like they're there against their will. Like, it's a burden for them to be there. For God's sake, headbang, fist pump, jump up and down. When the singer asks you to clap your hands, clap your freaking hands, man. You're at a concert. Enjoy yourself. It's a celebration. Next, I hate, again, here's another thing with concerts. I hate the security guards at concerts who stand there, and they actually look a lot like the people that refuse to do anything. They stand there like this, and they take all the fun out of the concerts. I mean, like, last night I was at A Day to Remember concert at Janus Landing, and there's a big tree in Janus Landing for those who don't know about it. And one of the bands actually had their guitarist crowd surf over the crowd up to the tree. And for like the longest time, the security guard wouldn't let him climb up the tree. It's like, okay, fine, I get it. There's liability issues. But come on, it's a rock concert. Get over it. Let him go up the tree. Eventually, he just pushed his way past the security guard, which is impressive considering he was small and the security guard was a large, imposing black man. But anyway, he was up in the tree and he played the rest of the song and it was awesome. And he got down from the tree and nobody was killed. I mean, honestly, I get that there's certain things that you have to do as a security guard, but don't be a tight ass about it. Next, I hate it when people treat yield signs in traffic as the same thing as stop signs when there's nobody coming. A yield sign means yield to oncoming traffic. If there's no oncoming traffic, there is no reason to yield. It is not a stop sign. We have places to go. Let's get a move on. Next, I hate it when when I ask for people's advice and their first response to me is to Google it. I wouldn't be asking you a question about it if I could just get it on Google. I don't want to talk to you. I have the necessity of talking to you because I can't get the information other places. Enough said. Next, I hate it when people, when I have a problem with something, and people recommend the unbelievably obvious answer, like if I'm at the library and I can't get the printer to work and I go up to one of the reception desks and I'm like, hey, I can't get this printer over here to work, and they say, well, did you hit the print button? Oh, shit, really? That's what that's supposed to do? I didn't realize. No, of course I hit the freaking print button. Honestly, maybe people are just that stupid and you have to ask, but really? Next, I hate people that use the elevator for a single floor. Like, really? If the only time that's acceptable is if you are literally like handicapped or the floor is inaccessible via stairs or something. But if everybody just used the elevator for one floor, which they do, it makes everything go unbelievably slowly. Like 15-minute wait to get on an elevator. So I end up using the stairs anyway, regardless of how many floors I have to go. But still, in the rare case that I do use the elevator, it's nice not to have a birthday before I'm able to get on. Next. Alright. Parents, this actually kind of goes the same way. It's related. Parents that let their children become obese. I mean, again, there's an acceptable case in this when the child has like a medical problem, like a thyroid problem or a hormone problem, you know, something that's going to medically cause them to gain excess weight. But if you're just a lazy parent and feed your kids McDonald's 4 nights a week, and all of a sudden little Timmy weighs freaking 130 pounds at age 4, then yeah, that's your fault as a parent. You're probably obese too. Really, what a disservice to your kids. And not only is that going to make them unhealthy, it's going to get them into bad eating habits for the rest of their life, and they're going to continue being obese. And then they're going to die of a heart attack at age 40. Next, people that get offended at everything, like especially when it's not something that they really have just cause to get offended at, and this happens the most with politically correct people that are like excessively politically correct. Like if I say, I don't know, if a white person gets mad at me for saying, oh yeah, that was a black guy over there, instead of saying African American. Okay, perhaps it's politically correct to say African American. I can understand that. But as a white dude, you don't really have cause to be outraged over that. Don't give me shit over it. Next and last, girls that fake emotions toward each other. Like there's a pair of girls in my medicinal chem class right now that obviously loathe each other. Like, if one of them met the other in a dark alley, only one would leave that dark alley and the other would probably be found in a dumpster with their eyes gouged out. Yeah, but those kind of girls that act really sweet towards each other, like, oh, yeah, what is the point? If you hate that girl, act like it. I don't really get the point of putting on a show. Anyway, that is my my tirade for today, and hopefully you guys agree with me with most of the hatred. If you guys hate something, let me know. And until next time, spread the hate around. See you.